All right, let's cut to the chase. You're skilled, you know it, I know it. Heck, even the office coffee machine probably knows it. But somehow, despite all your talents, you're stuck doing the same old work routine. You're basically the office best kept secret, and not in a good way. It's like being a Michelin star chef asked to reheat last night's leftovers in a microwave. You could do more, but somehow you're stuck doing less. Less challenging, less exciting, and way less fulfilling. So today we're tackling the big one, underutilized talent. Why it's happening to you, why it's holding you back, and most importantly, how can you turn it around? Because, mate, let me tell you, doing less than you're capable of isn't just frustrating, it's a career killer. And we're not having that, are we? So by the end of this video, you'll be ready to stop being the office best kept secret and start showing the world exactly what you're made of. So let's get into it. All right, so let's talk about what it really means to be underutilized. You've got the skills, high level, impressive stuff, but you're stuck doing the workplace equivalent of sweeping the floor. You're basically an F1 car being used to drive kids to school. And let me tell you, that's not just a waste of your skills, it's a waste of your potential. Here's what it looked like. You've got qualifications, experience, the whole shebang, but you're spending your days doing routine tasks that anyone with a Wi Fi connection and a YouTube tutorial can handle. You've been trained in most areas that your current job doesn't even touch. And when it's time for that next big project, oh yeah, they give it to Steve. You know, Steve, the one who talks about his dog all day long. And the worst part, you're not being challenged. You're coasting. Sure, it's easy. You're getting through the day with your eyes closed, but where's the growth? Where's the excitement? Exactly. It's nowhere. Here's the bottom line. Underutilization doesn't just feel like a career speed bump. It's a roadblock. And if you don't do something about it, you're not just wasting your time, you're wasting your talent. So let's get real for a second. You're feeling underutilized, but how do you know for sure? Let's go through the key signs because trust me, if you're ticking off more than a few of these, mate, you're not just underutilized, you're practically invisible at work. First off, you've got high level skills, but somehow you're stuck on routine tasks. You're like a highly trained pilot who's being asked to wash the windows of the plane, and that's just painful. You know you're capable of more, but no one's giving you the chance to show it. Second, you've been trained in something your job never touches, ever. Maybe you spent months getting qualified in a specific area, but now you're filing paperwork or sitting through endless meetings about other meetings. Your skills are gathering dust while your colleagues bumble through projects you could crush with one hand tied behind your back. And this is the big one. You're constantly being passed over for these opportunities. There's a new project coming up, a promotion maybe. You're thinking, finally, this is my chance. And then they hand it to Steve. Yes, Steve again, the guy who's just learned how to reply all in an email. And finally, you're not being challenged. You're coasting through your work life like a pro, but the problem is there's no growth, no learning. Just getting by, ticking boxes and wondering if this is as good as it gets. If any of that sounds familiar, it's time to take action because, mate, staying in a job that doesn't use your talents, that's just a fast track to career stagnation. Now, you're probably thinking, all right, John, I know I'm underutilized, but why? Why am I stuck in this rut? Everyone else seems to be getting the fun stuff. Well, mate, let's dive into why that's happening. And spoiler alert, it's not always a grand conspiracy to keep you down, though that would be fun, wouldn't it? First off, we've got the comfort zone culture. Your boss, your team, the entire company, they're probably all playing it safe. Why rock the boat when things are running smoothly, right? The problem is, while they're keeping things safe, your career is stuck in neutral. They put you in a box and they're happy to leave you there, doing the same thing over and over again. Then we got poor management. Not every manager's a visionary, let's be real. Some of them are just getting through the day ticking boxes. So your career progression isn't exactly their top priority. They're not thinking about how to use your skills better, they're just keeping the lights on. And then there's a lack of communication. I mean, let's face it, how often do you sit down and actually tell your bosses, hey, I'm capable of way more than this? Maybe they don't even know what you're capable of because you haven't made it clear. They're not mind readers, unfortunately. Finally, we've got overqualification. You're in a role beneath you, plain and simple. Maybe you took the job as a stepping stone, but now you're stuck doing basic tasks when you know you could be tackling way bigger challenges. It's like asking a brain surgeon to bandage up a paper cut. Sure, you can do it, but where's the challenge? Where's the growth? So, if you're wondering why you're being underutilized, it's probably a mix of these things. And here is the thing, it's not always personal, but that doesn't mean you have to accept it. The first step to changing your situation is understand why you're stuck there in the first place. Now, it's time to get real for a second. We had a laugh about why you're underutilized, but let's not sugarcoat it. This is killing your career. Yeah, I said it. Every day you stay stuck doing tasks that don't challenge you, you're falling behind. It's harsh, but it's true. So here's why. First off, there's a whole lost opportunities thing. When you're not seen as the go getter, the one that can handle the big stuff, guess what? You're not going to be the first one picked for new projects or promotions. They're handing those to someone who's already shining, even if that person is, say, less capable than you. Steve again, yeah? Now, we've got stalled growth. Think about it. If you're not stretching your skills, they're getting rusty. It's like going to the gym and lifting the same 5 kg weights every day. You're not getting stronger, mate. You're just going through the motions. And in a job, that's deadly for your long term growth. Then there's a lack of motivation. When you're doing the work that's beneath you, it's hard to stay fired up, right? You end up mentally checking out, doing the bare minimum just to get through the day. And before you know it, you're in a full blown career slump. And here's the big one, career stagnation. The longer you stay in an underutilized role, the harder it's going to become to get out of it. You're not growing, not being challenged, and eventually people start seeing you as someone who's comfortable doing the basics. And that's the exact opposite of what you want. So the bottom line, staying underutilized isn't just a wasting your time, it's wasting your potential. And if you're not careful, you could waste your entire career. So let's make sure that doesn't happen, yeah? All right, now we've covered why underutilization is a career killer. Let's talk about how you can fix it. Step one is to have the conversation. Yeah, it sounds simple, but trust me, most people skip this step and just sit there hoping their boss will magically realize their potential. And again, spoiler alert, it doesn't happen. If you want change, you've got to make it happen. Here's the thing, your boss isn't a mind reader. They're probably thinking everything's fine because you haven't told them otherwise. So it's time to sit down and have a chat. But, and this is important, don't just say, I think I could do more, because that's too vague. You've got to be specific. You want to say something like, I've been working on X, but I think I can add a lot more value by doing Y project. Show them you thought this through and you've got a plan. Think of it as pitching yourself, but without sounding like you're trying to sell them something. You're not asking for a favour. You're demonstrating how you can help the team or the company with your actual skills. And listen, mate, if your boss doesn't respond well, that's a red flag. If they're not interested in helping you grow, it might be time to start looking for some new opportunities because you deserve a role where you're seen, where your skills are used, and where you're constantly moving forwards. So, first step, have that conversation. And yeah, it might feel awkward, but trust me, it's better than sitting around waiting for something to change on its own. Take control, mate. Now, let's say you've had the conversation with your boss, but things still aren't moving as fast as you would like. What next? Well, that's step two, build your own opportunities. Look, if they're not handing you exciting projects, you've got to create them yourself. Because here's the thing, you don't need permission to showcase your skills. If the projects aren't landing on your desk, the ones you want, bring them to the table. Start pitching new ideas. Maybe there's a process at work that could be improved or a gap you've noticed that you know how to fill. Don't wait for someone else to solve the problem. Show them you've got the skills to handle it. Think of it like this, you're not just a cog in a machine, mate. You're the one who's going to upgrade the whole machine. That's how you make yourself indispensable. And hey, even if the company's not biting, that doesn't mean your creativity needs to stop there. Work on something outside the office that lets you use those underutilized talents. Maybe a side project, freelance work, or even volunteering in an area where your skills are valued. The point is, if they're not giving you the opportunities you deserve, create your own stage. Because remember, mate, your talents don't deserve to be boxed in. You've got the ability, now it's time to show it whether they're ready or not. So you've had the conversation and you're building your own opportunities. So what next? Well, a step three, mate, upskill. If they're not giving you new challenges, it's time to challenge yourself. You've got to make yourself so valuable that they can't afford to overlook you. Now, I know what you're thinking, but John, I've already got the skills, and that's great. But the world is changing so fast, and you need to keep up with it. Whether it's a new software tool, a certification, or just brushing up on the latest industry trends, there's always room to grow. Think of it like adding extra horsepower to your career engine. You're already fast, but now you're about to go into overdrive. And the best part, you don't need to wait for anyone's permission. There's tons of online courses, webinars, and resources out there. You can start right now, like literally today. Plus, when you're picking up new skills, it sends a message. I'm not just coasting here. I'm getting better, stronger, and you're going to want to put me in the next big project. Trust me, mate, when they've seen you leveling up on your own, they'll start paying attention. So, whether it's learning a new tool, mastering a new skill, remember growth is your responsibility. And the more you grow, the harder it is for anyone to ignore your potential. Let's talk about one of the biggest game changers for your career, and that's networking. Step four is all about getting yourself out there. Look, maybe your current boss isn't noticing your talents, but someone else out there will. And how do you get noticed? You network like you mean it. Now, before you start thinking, oh, networking, it's just schmoozing at boring events, let me tell you, it's so much more than that. Networking is about building relationships, finding mentors, and connecting with people who can open doors for you. And the best part, you don't even need to leave your desk these days. There's LinkedIn, there's virtual webinars, there's online communities. All of these are there at your fingertips. Look, mate, networking isn't just about awkward small talk over tiny sandwiches at corporate events. It's about finding the right people who can see your potential and help you grow. You've got to be active. Comment on posts, industry groups, attend those online meetups. And when you do, don't just be a wallflower. Get involved, share your insights, ask questions, and make yourself known. Because here's the truth, your network can make or break your career. You never know who might see your talent and offer you the next big opportunity. And if your current job isn't giving you what you need, your network could be the key to unlocking doors. So don't wait around for someone to find you. Go out there and make yourself seen because, mate, your talents are too valuable to stay hidden. All right, mate, we've covered a lot so far. So, having the conversation, building your own opportunities, upskilling, and networking. So, now we're on to the final piece of the puzzle set personal development goals. And trust me, this one's key because here's the thing you can't just wait around for someone else to map out your career path. If you're waiting for your boss or HR to give you the green light to grow, well, you might be waiting a long time. That's why it's time to take control by setting your own goals. When you've got clear objectives, you're not just drifting, you're driving. Now, I'm not talking about vague goals like I want to be better in my job. No, no, mate, that's not going to cut it. I'm talking specific, measurable goals. You want to lead a project by the end of the year, write it down. Want to upskill and get certified in a particular tool within 6 months, set a deadline. The more specific you are, the easier it is to track your progress. Think of it like leveling up in a video game. You've got a target, you've got missions to complete, and you know exactly what you need to do to get to the next level. And every time you tick one of those goals off the list, mate, that's the progress you can see, and so can everyone else. But here's the key consistency. Setting goals is great, but you've got to work at them regularly. Review them every few weeks, see where you're making progress, and adjust if necessary. The point is to keep moving forward no matter how small the steps are. So, whether it's developing a new skill, taking on more responsibility, or even moving towards a promotion, set those goals, own them, and keep pushing yourself because your career is not going to fix itself, is it, mate? You've got to lead the charge. And there we go, we've covered it all. Why underutilization is holding you back, the steps you need to take, and how to reclaim control of your career. But here's the thing none of this works unless you take action. So it's time to stop waiting for that perfect moment and start making moves. So, what's the next step? It's simple head over to johndaniels.co.uk, and remember that's John without an H. Whether you're looking for a career boost, a free career audit, or you're ready to dive into my masterclass, 3 Steps to Reboot Your Career, everything you need to get unstuck in your career is there. So if you're tired of sitting on the sidelines where your potential gathers dust, it's time to do something about it. Your skills deserve better, and trust me, there's no better feeling than seeing your talents finally put to use. So don't wait for the next Monday dreads to kick in. Take charge now. Head over to johndaniels.co.uk and let's get started. Because your career won't fix itself, but guess what? You can. So here we go, the last stop on this journey, because we've covered a lot of ground and now there's only one thing left for you to do: take action. If you're feeling stuck, underutilized, and you're ready to break free from the routine, this is your moment. It's time to stop wondering what could be and start creating the career you deserve. So head over to johndaniels.co.uk where you can sign up for a free career audit or dive into the masterclass, 3 Steps to Reboot Your Career. And for those of you who are really, really ready to make moves, the Reboot Your Career Accelerator program is right there waiting for you. Your talents are too valuable to waste on routine tasks, mate. You've got potential bursting at the seams. It's time to put it to work. So what are you waiting for? Take the first step today, because the only thing standing between you and your next big move is well, you. So go on, make the decision. Head to johndaniels.co.uk and start your journey to get unstuck right now in your career. Your future self will thank you for it.